So I'm going to try to be concise so that I don't go over the 5 minutes. So I wanted to just share about my initiative, my small business called PAFROZ, pour l'amour du cheveu, Afro, j'ose. It means for the love of Afro hair, I dare. The reason why I called it that way was because for me, it was a personal commitment to look for knowledge, to share my knowledge, and to build like a network of knowledge, bring value to my community. But it was a personal challenge because I'm not a person who's very social media. So I knew that going that path, I had to be present. I had to expose myself. And I did that because of Afro hair love. I knew that there were many other people, there were many other women like me and men who were struggling with their hair maintenance, hating themselves, and that's why I decided to call it PAFROZ, for the love of Afro hair. So this was a commitment to discover love and celebrate Afro hair, and it's still. So I think I talked already about my journey as an immigrant to Canada. I'm just going to be very quick. I arrived in 2009 as an international student. I had never left my family before that. I was very young, and there were a lot of cultural shock when I arrived. For example, the fact that people don't say hi in the public. I was very shocked about that because I was saying hi to everyone, at the bus stop, in the elevator, and no one was actually responding to me. So I had to learn that, this is the way here. I move forward. In 2013, I was actually, it was my first university degree at Ottawa U. That's where I obtained my civil law and social science bachelor's degree. This was a moment of, pride for me, for my parents. As you know, when you come as an international student, you pay, it's very expensive. So they were very proud of me, and I was proud of myself. Fast forward, I moved forward with my immigration status. So in 2016, I obtained my PR, and 3 years later, I became a citizen. And during this whole time, I was gaining knowledge about, the Canadian society, academically, but also professionally, because I was already working and becoming more independent. And I was still in Ottawa, and I was noticing that even though this was a bilingual city, I was kind of struggling with English because I did all my studies in French, everything, like my life is in French. So I decided to challenge myself by coming to a city that is fully English, that I didn't know anyone. And I actually took a master there, and I got my Master of Laws in 2017. And it was my first time, being fully immersed in an English world academically. So I'm very proud of that. You can move to the next slide. I just wanted to share my hair journey very briefly as well. I come from a country where actually Afro hair is celebrated, Burundi. When I was at elementary school, we were not allowed to actually relax our hair, so chemically alter our hair. We had to keep it natural, and we were not even allowed to have braids. So girls look like boys. So we had Afro, very short hair, and we were given the reason being that if you have a lot of hair, you get distracted from school, and that's not what parents wanted for you. So before 2004, I actually had very short hair and Afro hair. And what happened in 2004 is that we actually moved. We went from Burundi to Senegal with my family, and this was a very interesting time because it was in a country where we didn't have the services. I had a lot of hair, and I remember my mom struggling to find products to take care of my hair, but she couldn't find anything. If you touch my hair, it would scream. So it was very challenging to me. So at the end, she decided that there were only two options: cut it or relax it. And I didn't want to cut my hair because I had really had great growth. So I decided to relax my hair in 2004. And then almost 10 years later, so I was in Canada in 2009, I noticed at, a few years later that I was actually living some hair breakage. I had actually very strong issues because I even had spots that were empty, there were no hair. I was able to cover it, but I was actually going through, challenges in terms of hair maintenance because I was still relaxing it. So after obtaining my first university degree, I decided it was time for me to change, and I just went for the big chop. So I cut my hair, had this look, and life was very easy. And then a few years later, so that's where I started actually learning about how to take care of my hair again. It was the nappy movement, early 2000. So I had actually access to some information online, some resources. But in 2020, because of the COVID, everyone was cut from accessing the services. We had to stay home. And I was actually faced with a lot of dilemmas, as I mentioned. I was pregnant, and for me, hair was, like almost like a baby because it takes time, it takes patience, it takes love and caring, and I was not able to figure out how I can have both at the same time. So that's where I decided to, you can move to the next slide, to actually make a survey. I wanted to know if I was the only one who was struggling with that issue. I wanted to know if other people had maybe already found the solutions. And I created a survey in 2021 where I was asking people, what's your main challenges when it comes to hair maintenance? And as you can see, I actually had over 130 responses. And over 20% of my community, it was mainly the Francophone community, mentioned that hairstyling was really a big challenge. And then you have hair wash and detangling, and then hair maintenance. So I just realized that I was not the only one. That's why having that master's background and being able to do scientific research, I decided to do that. And yeah, you can move to the next slide. So that's my course. It will be available in English very soon, but for now it's still in French. It's on my website. I'll share with you the website, but it's called The 5 Keys to a Successful Afro Hair Journey. And I was also able to create a workshop for people who are interested to know more about that. And what I noticed is that people were very grateful to have the knowledge about hair structure. We have some myths. So for example, I grew up thinking that Afro hair is the strongest hair. And after the research, I actually discovered that's the more vulnerable hair, the fragile, like the most fragile hair compared to other hair texture. Why? For example, the level of implementation of the hair in the scalp is very, it's not deep. So our hair is not deeply implemented compared to Caucasian hair, meaning it's easy to break. The strength of the hair, so the weight it can carry is less compared to other hair. And one other thing that I discovered, for example, is the fact that the sebum that we have in our scalp is actually less compared to other people's scalp. Why? Because the sebaceous glands, so the pockets that produce the sebum in our scalp, are very tiny compared to other people's scalp. And then the scalp, so the sebum, the natural oil, comes in a very tiny quantity, and it's not able to do its job, which is to protect the hair, to moisturize it. It's not able to actually even travel to the whole hair shaft. So all these issues explain many challenges that we face, hair dryness, hair breakage, the fact that sometimes we feel like the hair is not growing up. And I was really happy to share the knowledge and, seeing different feedback and changes in my community. Can we go to the next slide? So I'm just showing what I'm doing. So I do everything from home. I follow some training on how to make products, and I also connected with other professionals who are making it. So I do my own oils. Usually I start with the procedure of sterilization to make sure that the products are clean, not infected. And then I do oil shampoo and oil bath. So the oil bath and oil shampoo that I do are natural hair oil based. The reason why I am doing these two products only for now is because I am not in favor of having a lot of steps in terms of hair maintenance. For me, being able to wash my hair, detangle it and style it is just enough. So for me, I'm just offering those two products. The specialty about my oil shampoo is the fact it not only cleans your scalp, clean your hair, but it also detangles your hair because it's oil based. Many people are actually very surprised when I tell them that, but when they try it at home, they tell me I'm actually able to comb my hair after applying the shampoo. And that's really one thing that I wanted to achieve through my products. You need me to be faster. I just wanted to share my greatest contribution. So that's my two daughters. I'm happy that I'm able to leave a legacy to them of self-love, of empowering them to take care of their own hair. And very recently, my own mom, who's over 60 years, stopped relaxing her hair. I'm so proud of that. So I'm hoping for my community to also have the tools and the information needed to take care of their hair and to love their identity. This is just to show you the website. If you can go at the last slide, for those who are interested. So my achievement, so the fact that I have an online course, I've been able to sell hundreds of natural hair products. I'm really present on social media and I offer one-to-one counseling as well. For those of you who want to find me, you can find me going through, you can go to the last slide by scanning the QR code. Those are the testimonials of clients who are really satisfied. If you want to find my website, you can scan the QR code. It's still in French. I'm working on putting it in English, but it's Pour l'amour du cheveu afro, PAFROZ. Thank you so much for your attention.
A round of applause, Annie. Thank you, everyone.